Hey everyone, Thanksgiving is around the corner, so that means that the end of summer is finally upon us. And what does that mean? Golf season is coming to an end. But now is the time to start rehabilitating all the overuse injuries that's happened from playing golf all summer long. And so today we're going to talk about golfer's elbow. Today's video, we're going to go over all the muscles that are typically associated with having golfer's elbow and the weaknesses that contribute to the inflammation of that inside elbow position. Okay? So, without further ado, let's get to the body. Okay, so here we are at the arm to look at this golfer's elbow or your medial epicondylitis. Excuse me. Okay, golfer's elbow. That's basically what we're talking about. What the medial means is it's going to be the closest one to the midline of the body, which is the inside part of the elbow. So on anatomical structure, the thumb pointing out, okay, that is the appropriate anatomical alignment for the arm. And let's get rid of all these muscles. And then right here, this bony attachment that's sticking towards what would be the rib cage here, that is your medial epicondyle. And epicondylitis is just inflammation, basically, is what's going on. And inflammation happens because of muscular dysfunction. Muscular dysfunction happens because of muscular imbalances from either overuse, stress, or some type of trauma or injury that happens. And we're talking about golfer's elbow, so obviously overuse or underuse, depending upon just your perspective, of the muscles that causes inflammation in the elbow. So we're going to go over the typical causes, which is traditionally in the hand and the forearm muscles not being adequate enough and working with the whole arm itself that causes this inflammation of the elbow, having too strong of shoulders and everything. But with the changes of how people do things, people use their hands a lot more now. So I'm finding that people actually have really, really strong hands and forearms, and some of the times it's usually the weaker shoulders or neck that's actually contributing to the weakness, the muscular imbalance that's causing the golfer's elbow or even tennis elbow. So the best way to know for sure is to get assessed. So I recommend you clicking on the link below and signing up for my monthly corrective exercise program. For $50, I will assess you, me personally, will assess you, figure out what's the cause of your elbow issue or any other issue, and then write you a daily and weekly prescription that you should follow of exercises and stretches to help relieve your problem, tailored specifically for you. Then each month we want to reassess and make sure that we're doing the right thing and make some updates and changes every month, okay? That's the best way to get some results. So let's go back and let's add these muscles back here. Okay. So you can see these muscles here all attach right here. All these flexor muscles all attach. And then you can see these extender muscles of the forearm and the fingers, okay? They all go on and attach there. So typically it's weakness in the hand and the forearm that causes golfer's elbow, excuse me. And so we're going to talk about all these different muscles here and how we should strengthen them and work on them. All right? So let's get to the workout. Okay, so here are 6 exercises, and these exercises, stretches, mobility stuff, need to be performed daily, okay? Every single day in order to start getting progress, and it's going to be bare minimum at least 2 weeks before you progress to the next phase, but most of the time it's going to be about a month doing it on your own like this and not having it like specifically tailored. So let's click on this first one. It's a forearm flexor stretch. So we call it a flexor stretch because it's going to be stretching out the flexors of your wrists. If we go back, so these muscles right here, everything on this side of the axis, on your palm side, are considered your wrist flexors. Now they can also help do other things like rotate your
your wrist and your forearm. They can also help with bending. They can also help, like this one, it comes in and crosses that wrist, so it's really important on flexing the wrist, but it's even more important on flexing these fingers, okay? That's what it does a lot of like finger flexion along with the wrist, okay? But its primary function is to help out with flexing that wrist, all right? So these are the muscles that you want to think about feeling lengthening as you're doing this mobility stretch, okay? Now to help you with this one, so you want to be in a seated position or standing. I prefer you to be in a seated position. That way you just minimize the amount of tension in other muscles. Then you're comfortably with the elbow bent, grab a hold of the hand, and then you're going to extend the elbow out and then gently pulling the fingers back down, causing this to lengthen. So you want to feel like these muscles are lengthening, but in contrast, you want to think about these muscles on this side shortening, okay? If you just focus on lengthening these muscles without focusing on what's supposed to be happening on the opposite side, then these muscles will just retighten back up, okay? The reality is, in order for the body to move and to maintain changes in movement and mobility, you have to lengthen and shorten, or lengthen and strengthen the opposite side. So you need to think about extending your hand like this back while applying gentle forces to help cause more lengthening. So even as you pull in, you should be able to feel some lengthening and stretching motion just by pulling it into that position and then adding a little bit of tension to create a little bit more range there. Let's check out the video and see this demonstration. Be very gentle, nice and easy. Nothing's aggressive. It shouldn't be an extreme stretch. If you're not feeling any flexion back here, then you're pushing it too far. Okay? Let's go to the next exercise. Forearm extension, AROM. Okay, so this is a movement-based, a dynamic stretching position, okay? So the same thing, you want to think about kind of like flexing your wrist to be in that position. It's going to be challenging to do that, especially with when you're moving it around and everything, but you just want to do the best you can, okay? Nice and slow and controlled. You don't want to do anything crazy, and don't worry if you can't actually bring your hands all the way together and being that close. So instead, try pushing your hands further away, and the most important thing is just having your palms flat together, okay? Then you just bring it in as far as you can while flexing the extender muscles in your forearm, okay, and your hand and everything, to wherever that position is, and then just rotating it back and forth, all right? You don't have to bring it all the way into your chest or anything. That is the goal, but it's not required as you first start this, okay? So let's watch the video and see how this one's done. Nice and gentle. Controlled, nice and easy. And there you go. Okay, let's go back. No, I forgot. Let's check out these muscles here. Okay, so the muscles that are extending are going to be more like these muscles here. All right? These right here are going to be the primary ones that you're going to feel doing all the flexion or extension, I should say, helping with that movement and everything. Okay? And then the lengthening muscles are going to be on this side of the axis. Look at all of them. Can you believe you have so many muscles that are in your forearm there? That's how you have those fine motor skills. Okay? So let's go back to the workout. Okay, towel twist. So towel twist is really good. There are machines out there that can cause rotation. You can use tools to like rotate like a weight or something. But I really like the towel twist because you can have a chance for a really good isometric. And isometrics have been found to really dramatically improve the communication between the brain and the muscles. So that's how you improve stability in the muscles, how you can increase the muscles' ability to stabilize joints. And that's essentially what you're trying to do. We're trying to get the muscles working better to stabilize that elbow there more so that you're no longer having inflammation and tension in that inside medial elbow spot, okay? So you just grab a simple towel, wring it around a little bit, and then you just, with both hands, you kind of just twist that towel, really focusing on those same forearm muscles that we've been going back and forth on, okay? So when you're, this hand right here that's pulling back towards you, that's going to be focusing on these muscles on the back, like that watch face side of your forearm, okay? And then this hand that's twisting down, that's going to be on the forearm, the opposite side, okay, the flexor. So this is the extender muscles. These are the flexor muscles. This is wrist flexion. This is wrist extension, okay? Let's check out that video and see what it looks like. Crunch. Hold it for a couple seconds. Crunch. Hold it for a couple seconds. That's the best way that you want to try to do it, okay? Notice a lot of shoulder and arm movement. You want to try to minimize that as much as you can, okay? Because if your forearms and your wrist weakness is the cause of the golfer's elbow, then you don't want to spend a lot of time strengthening the shoulders. And whenever you're using your shoulders and moving, well, then they're getting stronger and you're promoting more of the same issue. So you want to keep the arms down a little bit more and just really focusing on just the wrists and the forearms doing all the work, okay? So let's go back. All right, grip strength. So this one's gonna be a little bit different than what we've been talking about, okay? Let's look at the muscles here. Okay, we're gonna zoom in a little bit. Oops. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to be primarily focusing, this is probably the largest muscle group that's going to be helping out with this, okay? They attach the fingers, and they're flexing through, so there will be a little bit of forearm action here that's going to be working, but it's actually going to be, we're going to try to focus more on these tiny little finger muscle attachments, okay? These umbilicals right there. All these tiny little muscles here is really our main focus, okay? You don't want to think about using this forearm too much on this one. It will work, but it shouldn't be an overwhelming feeling on this one, okay? So it's all these, see how they're attached? They go into these carpal bones, okay, that make up your wrist, and they all attach in through here. So you really want to focus on having that hand planting and just using the muscles that attach. And your carpal bones are kind of up here, okay? They're not all the way down here in the wrist, okay? But they're more like up inside this area right here with your palm, okay? The lower part of your palm here. And so you want to really think about squeezing those muscles just in the hand. The forearm will work and do some, but you want to have as much focus as you can in using the hand as the lever that's moving everything around, okay? So thumb not being involved at all, these are all for our fingers, okay, our digits here. And you just, ideally, something to squeeze on. It doesn't have to be a ball, doesn't have to be a red ball, it could be anything that you can just fit in the palm of your hand that's not gonna like that's not gonna be challenging to hold and that you can apply force into it, okay? It is good if you can squeeze into it, just like this ball, so like a tennis ball or something, maybe something a little bit smaller, but anything that you can have full finger flexion right there. So it's not the tip, not flexing through here, it's flexing through here, okay? Like I have a hard time without that thinking. Okay, so it's going to be difficult, but you'll be able to do it. Let's watch the video to see how it's done. Very simple, and just squeeze it. See, I'm just trying to get that thumb in. That's going to be natural movement. Try to resist that and just relax it as best you can. So if your thumb is getting involved, you're squeezing too hard. Okay, you want to do gentle squeezes and feel just these muscles in the fingers and into the palm. You'll feel a little bit of flexion in the forearm, but you want to feel mostly right all here inside that hand. Okay. So now here's where we get into using those forearm muscles even more. Okay, so we've been doing a lot of mobility stuff first. Now we're going into strengthening it and everything. So very small weight, all right? We're looking at trying to strengthen the weakest muscles in your forearm, all right? So when I say that there's dysfunction and you're not using these hand muscles as much as you should be, it doesn't mean that all the muscles are just not moving. You can still move your wrists and do stuff and everything, move your fingers and everything. But so there's still muscles that are doing stuff. It's just that there's certain ranges of muscles or certain muscles that are just incredibly weak in comparison to other muscles. And when I say ranges, muscles shorten and lengthen, okay? So there's certain ranges that the muscle shortens into that are just really weak and can't continue to shorten, okay, or can't lengthen, all right? So you want to start with really lightweight, very, very lightweight. If you're having this problem, that means that the muscles are so weak they can't do what your normal function is, okay? So you got to go really lightweight so that you're focusing on strengthening the weakest muscles in your forearm. There'll be certain ranges of the muscle that it's just really easy, no big deal, I barely feel anything. But there will be certain ranges that's going to feel near impossible to perform. So it's really important that you start with lightweight, okay, 1 to 3 pounds is the starting point, and go up from there. And just really be in control while doing the movement. Okay, so you want to think about, and then also I want to talk about, you want to think about flexing. See, these are the flexor muscles on top here with the watch face going down, back of the hand going down. You want to think about these muscles shortening as you curl up, like right here, they're curling up, so these muscles have to shorten, these muscles have to lengthen, that's the rule of human movement. Okay, but then when you bring it back down like this, you want to try to focus on these same muscles controlling the down. Okay, don't just let go. You want to, so when the muscles get shorter, that's called the concentric phase of the muscle movement. And then as the muscle gets longer, that's called the eccentric phase of the movement. You want to strengthen both phases, concentric and eccentric. Okay, and it's really important, especially if you need to rehabilitate this area. So control, feel it all flexing. Now you see how you're trying to twist the hand, or the pinky side is wanting to come up a little bit more. That's because that side's a little bit stronger than the thumb side is. All right, so be really cautious and pay attention. Make sure that it stays even and balanced. Okay, and control the movement on the way up, feeling it flexing, and then keep it tight as you bring it back down. That's how you control the eccentric phase of the movement. Okay. Now we're going to try to start putting it all together with your shoulders with this scapular retraction. Okay, arms are down, so you're going to feel your triceps. You could even feel your lats engage on this one, but the primary is actually your traps, levator, and rhomboid. Let's check that out. Oops. Okay. Nope, that's not good enough. You got to go back. Let's see. Trunk, muscles. Okay. So primary muscles when it comes to retracting your arm is going to be your traps, and then this levator, rhomboid minor, and rhomboid major. These are the most important muscles when it comes to actually pulling your shoulder blade back. And that's caused because these muscles all attach to your spine, right? Trap attaches to your spine, and they attach to your shoulder blade. and as they shorten, they pull your scapula back. So these are the primary muscles that we're trying to work and feel. Okay, you want to make sure that if your shoulders go up, right, then you're using too much of your traps and not enough of your rhomboids. Okay, so you don't want to think about using, if you feel like your armpit's working, then more than likely it's your lat that's doing a lot of the work. Let's see if we can get there. No. So the lat comes and attaches right over here on the front part of your deltoid, or your humerus bone right up here. Can't show it to you very well, but that's where it attaches to. That's like when you can do rows for your lats or lat pull downs using your arms, because they actually attach to your arm to pull it back. Okay? And then, let me just show you this also. Let's go back to this one. Okay, let's see how far. Okay, yep. So you see here, your tricep actually attaches to your scapula also, and that's how come that will work. And also, check it out, it attaches on that same side, that medial side. It's not very well, but it's in there and it can help out control that same type of movement. Not very good, but it can help control that same type of movement that's going to help with the medial epicondyle right there. Okay, so that's how come you're going to feel a little bit of that. So, but the main focus are these traps and rhomboids, and feeling these shoulder blades come pinching together, just like so. Okay, you will feel, you might feel your triceps, you might feel your lats. If you feel those though a lot, then you're not doing it right. It should be more about this on the top part of your shoulder blades that you feel working. Let's check out the video. There you go, nice and easy. Your chest might rise a little bit. That's normal, that's okay. And try to really focus on these muscles right inside here on this one. Holding it for a couple seconds at the very end of range of motion. Okay? Perfect. So again, doing these daily. The first one, just need to do one set. All the rest of them, we're doing 3 sets, 10 to 20 repetitions. 30 seconds break in between each set. Nice and easy.
Well, that's it. We came to the end of the video. Thank you so much for making it to the very end. Again, just a reminder to like the video, subscribe, stay tuned, because more videos are coming every single week, where I'm going to update you and teach you how to rehabilitate the common causes of all these ailments. And if you want to get a personalized assessment and prescription to help get your body feeling better and performing at a higher level, just click the link in the description and I will personally assess and prescribe the right program for you. Thanks a lot. I'll talk to you again soon.